This video is sponsored by Renva Turmeric Shakes, sold on Amazon. Enjoy 3 amazingly delicious flavors: vanilla chai latte, peanut butter cup, and ginger lemon drop. Welcome to the TSD Mindfulness video for teaching number 8. So we're going to complete this list of 3 that is titled the temperamental body. The first was the mental field, the second was the gut field, and now we are on the teaching called the heart field. All right, so the heart field is located in the heart area, our chest area as far as a physical location. And I'd say that the heart field is the most ambiguous of all the 3 fields, meaning it's a little bit harder to explain in concrete ways, but I'll do the best I can here. However, the heart field, I would say, is the most powerful of all of the fields in our lives. So it's really, really important. So let's consider a seesaw as a metaphor for the temperamental body. And just as a review, the temperamental body is made up of the 3 fields: the mental field, the gut field, and the heart field. And so the seesaw, on one end of the seesaw is the mental field. On the other end of the seesaw is the gut field. And they're kind of having this pulling back and forth because the mental field is really focused on simulating change, stimulating change, analyzing outcomes, putting plans into place, right? And then on the other hand, the gut field is focused on preservation, keeping everything the same. So it's this constant tug and pull because their objectives are so opposite from one another. But in the middle of the seesaw is the heart field, and this is the pivot point right here in the middle. And it really is the most significant part of our experience. And it's too bad because the majority of us, what's happening is we're so caught up in the mental field, doing all this planning and implementing and judging and questioning, and then the gut field getting triggered and wanting to just stop everything, keep everything preserved, right? We're going back and forth between these 2 things, and we miss what's going on in the heart field. And what's going on in the heart field is actually what's the most important part of this picture, right? So it's so important to be able to calm the thinking and to soothe the nervous system so we can move into this heart field. So let's say we do this in meditation, we do quiet our mental field, we do soothe our nervous system, and we move our consciousness into our hearts. What might we find there? Well, here are some of the things that you might experience in the heart field. One can be physical. You can actually feel physical sensations in the heart area. This would be an experience of the heart field. Another experience can be more emotional. So the heart field is where our joy resides. It's also where our pain resides. So when we open the door to our hearts to see what's there, we open the door to both our joy and our pain. And so some of that pain is related to past trauma. It could be rejection. It could be betrayal. It could be feeling attacked. It could be feeling inferior. These are all some of these deep emotions that we might feel in the heart field. We also might feel gratitude. We might feel love. We might feel something on that level. Trust. Trust is a beautiful emotion that we feel in the heart field. So it's all there. And something else that you might experience in the heart field is something that I like to call rhythmic energy. And so this is something that you would notice during a deep meditation experience. And you can think of it as being symbolic. So you're in meditation, you have your eyes closed, maybe it's 15, 20 minutes into your meditation, you're moving your consciousness into your heart because you've tamed your mental field, you've soothed your gut field, and you might notice this symbolic energy in your heart that I refer to as rhythmic energy. And an example of that might be like a marching pattern, of marching forward, 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 going forward, forward, forward. And this rhythmic energy is something that drives you on a very deep level. And so that driving force might be what keeps you going through thick or thin. You keep going, you keep going. It might be different things for different people. That's just one example. But when you sit in meditation and open up to it, you might see some of that symbolism. And if you've ever had hypnotherapy, hypnotherapy is so much rooted in symbolism, but the symbolism in hypnotherapy is more on the mental level. It's like the symbolism up here, but there's also symbolism that can be more in your heart center, so you can be open to that. But also emotions, right? So you might be in meditation and there might be some emotion that comes up for you. Maybe it is something that's on the painful side. And so this is what I ask you to do if that happens. So the first thing to do if that emotional experience presents itself is to focus on your physical sensations. How does this feel? What does betrayal feel like on a physical level? Do you feel it more up here? Do you feel it more in your gut? Where do you feel it more in your shoulders? Where do you feel this emotion on a physical level? The other thing I'd like you to do is notice the thinking that's associated with this emotion. What thoughts does this emotion instigate? Does it to get going in your mind? And what we will do naturally is just get really absorbed in the thinking part, but that's actually not going to be helpful. So I ask you to use your mindfulness to not get really involved in the thinking. It's there, it's happening, and just more view it as a phenomenon of the emotion, that the emotion is just kind of triggering this emotional experience. It literally could be triggering the neural pathways in your brain and causing that thinking. You can think of it as such a simplistic level as that. And you want to more just focus on the emotional aspect of the experience and the physical aspect of the experience and less on the thinking. So there's some things to get you started, and I'll in later classes I'll follow up with more techniques such as self-compassion to really work with those emotions as they come up, especially those difficult ones. Understanding what's going on in your heart field is really going to help you understand why you do the things that you do, why you think the things that you think. And you're not going to be able to open up to that unless you go through the process of taming your mental field, soothing your gut field, and moving your consciousness into your heart field. And more on that in later classes. So this is the conclusion of teaching number 8 and the conclusion of this video.